On southern estates, families lived under the constant shadow of separation. Slaveholders routinely used the threat of sale or forced relocation to maintain control, knowing it struck at the heart of enslaved communities. Documented letters and slave narratives reveal the agony of mothers, fathers, and children torn from one another, a trauma echoing across generations. For many, the pain of these broken bonds lingered long after emancipation. Beyond fieldwork, enslaved people brought invaluable skills to southern estates. Many served as carpenters, blacksmiths, masons, and seamstresses, constructing homes, furniture, tools, and more, yet rarely receiving acknowledgement. Their expertise was essential to maintaining and expanding plantation infrastructure. Their craftsmanship shaped the very landscape, yet the credit and rewards went to their enslavers. Enslaved people found ways to resist their oppression, both quietly and boldly. Work slowdowns, tool sabotage, and feigned illness undermined estate operations without direct confrontation. Others preserved African cultural traditions, music, and language as acts of defiance, nurturing a sense of identity and hope. While large-scale revolts like Nat Turner's uprising drew attention, these everyday acts of resistance were just as vital in challenging the system. Religion served as both solace and strength for enslaved communities. They blended African spiritual traditions with Christianity, forging new expressions of faith that offered hope in dire circumstances. Secret gatherings, spirituals, and coded prayers nurtured solidarity and resistance, creating a spiritual lifeline. These practices not only sustained individuals but also helped preserve cultural identity. Enslaved children faced harsh realities from an early age. Many began work as young as 5, performing chores or assisting adults in the fields. The threat of being sold or separated from parents loomed constantly, leaving lasting emotional scars. Their innocence was often stolen by the relentless demands of plantation life. Life on southern estates meant enduring severely limited resources. Enslaved people were often given meager, nutritionally poor rations, typically cornmeal, pork, or molasses, resulting in malnutrition and chronic health issues. Housing was little better. Cramped, drafty cabins offered incomplete protection from the elements, fostering disease and discomfort. These harsh conditions underscored the daily struggle for survival. Enslaved women endured suffering distinct from their male counterparts. Many faced sexual violence from enslavers, with little recourse or protection. They were often forced into childbearing for the economic benefit of the estate, a practice known as forced breeding. Daily life meant caring for their own families while also tending to the needs of white households, compounding both physical and emotional burdens. Access to proper medical care was rare for enslaved people. Most had to rely on traditional folk remedies, passed down through generations, or the minimal, and often inadequate, treatment provided by the estate. Illness and injury frequently went untreated, leading to preventable suffering and death. Enslaved individuals had no legal standing. They were considered property, not people, under the law. Unlike free citizens, they could not testify in court, protect their families, or seek justice for abuse. This lack of rights left them vulnerable to exploitation and violence, with no hope for legal recourse. Despite relentless hardship, enslaved people forged deep bonds within their communities. Secret gatherings, communal meals, and shared childcare helped individuals cope with daily struggles and fostered a sense of belonging. These networks became lifelines, providing emotional and practical support that strengthened resilience and hope. Through collective care, enslaved families found ways to survive, and sometimes even thrive, amid oppression. Learning to read or write was both forbidden and fiercely sought after by enslaved people. Laws and plantation rules often imposed harsh punishments on anyone caught teaching or learning literacy skills. Despite the risks, many persevered, viewing literacy as a path to empowerment, communication, and even escape. Secret lessons, shared books, and coded messages became acts of rebellion and hope. Music was more than entertainment, it was a lifeline. Enslaved people used songs to communicate secret messages, express sorrow, and instill hope. Spirituals and work songs became vessels for coded resistance, while also preserving African heritage. These melodies and rhythms would later shape the very foundation of American music, leaving a profound cultural legacy. Punishments on Southern estates were intentionally brutal and highly visible. Whippings, brandings, and shackling were common tactics designed to instill fear and ensure obedience among the enslaved population. These acts of violence were often carried out publicly, sending a clear message to others about the consequences of defiance or disobedience. The trauma of such punishments left lasting scars, both physical and emotional. The story of slavery extends beyond vast rural estates. Many enslaved people lived in cities or on small farms, working as domestics, skilled artisans, or industrial laborers. Urban slavery brought different challenges, from stricter surveillance to diverse work environments, but the oppression persisted. Their vital roles in city life and industry are often overlooked in mainstream narratives. Freedom did not arrive all at once for those enslaved on Southern estates. Emancipation unfolded in fits and starts, varying by state, region, and even plantation. Some gained freedom through escape, military service, or the gradual enforcement of the Emancipation Proclamation, while others waited years for true liberation. The end of slavery brought hope, but also uncertainty and new hardships as freed people navigated a society still deeply divided. If you enjoy my videos and are not yet subscribed, please consider it, as it really helps me out. Thanks.